Welcome to TM Radio Broadcasting. My name is Frank Allen. We are live from Boston, Massachusetts. It is Wednesday, February the 24th, in the year of our Lord, 2023. Today, we have the opportunity of enjoying the great company of Laura Ann, who organized the conference call, Voice to Heart. We also have a brand new TI, Alice, who will be telling her story. We will start the show after a brief announcement. TM Radio Broadcasting is a listener-funded radio station. We are the only radio station formed for and dedicated to targeted individuals and their human rights. We need your donations to keep that 24/7 service and all the others running smoothly. Donations may be made through the Allen Institute for Human Rights at https://AIHR.foundation or at targetedmassachusetts.org. Now, I would like to introduce Laura Ann. Go ahead, Laura. And Alice, who will be speaking shortly. Go ahead, Laura.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. And yes, I do Voice to Heart on Sunday nights. That's on free conference call. And the link is, or the join ID number would be voice, number 2, and heart. So I'm excited to hear our newbie's story and
right.
What she has to say.
I just have a question for you. What time is that on? Eastern Standard. Would that be 11?
That is 11 o'clock Eastern Standard, 9 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay. And
next year it'll be different because we're going to join the rest of the country and not do the Mountain Standard Time.
That'll be great. It gets to be confusing, especially.
It does.
Okay. And I just wanted to mention DJ Chris and his show, and that's on prior to Laura's show, and that is, I believe, 9 to 11, correct? And
yes, and it is Targeted West, I believe you can find
Targeted West. That's correct. Yeah. And if Chris, if you're listening in, just look at the phone numbers. If you want to ask a question, if you want to listen to me, just call 617-987-8603, and Chris will be here. And this is a part that I actually omitted. If you want to call and just listen, dial 518-801-1318. If you'd like to call and ask a question or join in briefly, dial 617-987-8603. Okay, Alice, this is what we would call a newbie. And we're going to give Alice a little time to explain her situation. And then we'll see if DJ Chris calls in. Go ahead, Alice.
Thank you for having me on, Frank. My name is Alice, and I am a TI, targeted individual, and my targeting started in 2012. I initially was not cognizant of what was occurring. All I knew was that at my job, people started acting strange around me. I noticed that coworkers, like every time I would pass by, coworkers would start clearing their throats or coughing. And whenever I would, be walking down the street, I noticed people would start patting the top of their heads and they, be pointing in a certain direction, basically to signal to others, that I was in the environment, that I was in the area. I was being followed on the bus, and then when people would see me, they'd start coughing or clearing their throats. And something else I noticed was that conversations that I would have with people in private, those conversations were actually being repeated. Like they would converse with each other, and say and discuss my personal business. Like during that time, I didn't actually own a washer or dryer, and I literally would hand wash some of my items, that I needed for work. If it wasn't laundry day that day. Well, one time I was on the bus, someone said, yeah, because, I need to wash my socks out and hang them up, and that was something that I had literally, just did the night before. Now, in terms of conversations being repeated, I noticed that the perpetrators, the people that harass us and target us, I noticed that they utilize magnetic headsets for communication, kind of like the ones that newscasters use, security agencies use. There are these little tiny earpieces because oftentimes targets often wonder, well, how did they know that I was discussing that with them or whatever? It's because if they're utilizing those magnetic headsets, then everybody who has a headset tuned into that frequency, guess what? They're all going to hear your conversation being broadcasted. So that was something that I had found out about in 2012 was the fact that, like, say if you work somewhere, oftentimes they'll give the employers the little headsets to use, some of the coworkers a headset to use. So I was able to identify that. Also, when I became cognizant of my targeting in 2012, I noticed that they started harassing my children. My children, like one of my sons would go to take out the trash, and I literally witnessed a group of men that would approach him. There were times, where my kids, would come back home crying after conversations with these men. And during this time, I received a visit from a man that I, had never seen, never met. I received a visit, and I was basically warned. I was literally threatened that if I told what was going on, that I would be discredited and lose my children. Well, I reported what was going on to law enforcement, and I was told, everything looks nice here, everything's fine here, but we're going to have to remove your children because of your mental health state. I had
Oh,
done
excuse
nothing wrong.
me.
All I mentioned was, that the fact that these men were harassing my children, and the fact that, I was being stalked and followed everywhere I go.
Alice,
Things got really, really bad to the point where I would be riding on the bus, and someone sat behind me on the bus. They put a substance on my back, and whatever that substance was, I still to this day have no idea what happened to me. I just know that it was like a liquid. It was like a liquid substance. It caused the area to initially become numb, and then after that, my body started to spasm uncontrollably, and I couldn't feel parts of my body. So that happened, and then it wore off like after about a minute or so. So I wasn't sure what happened with that. Um, there were people that were being paid to lie about me. I witnessed one of the bus drivers receive a large sum of money, basically to lie about me. And there was another time where the bus driver rerouted the bus and made up lies about me. The lies have been extensive that have been told about me. My perpetrators would circulate rumors saying that I was a dirty cop, I was an undercover officer, and just all sorts of things. They even spread a rumor, a lie, which was totally a lie. about me, saying, that I, worked for law enforcement. None of that stuff was true. Also, as my targeting increased, I noticed that anything that the things that I would be like sometimes thinking about, I noticed that people were able to vocalize my thoughts, some of my thoughts, and I just I could not understand that. Now I understand it's synthetic telepathy. But for a moment, I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm like, how can that happen? How is this occurring? Now I know it's, artificial telepathy, synthetic telepathy, brain to computer interface, whatever you want to call it, voice of God, whatever people want to call it. I'm a victim of that. Something else that I've had to experience as being a target is they have the ability to go into my dreams, and I get interrogated in my dreams. I've basically I've been denied due process. They asked me for people's names. They asked me for phone numbers. They asked me for addresses. They asked me for passwords, and this is while I'm asleep. And, I'm just grateful that, after being targeted for so long, that I'm now cognizant of what's actually occurring. So I get interrogated in my dreams. I also receive phantom touch, where it feels like, I don't even know if that's the appropriate term, but I've heard that used before, phantom touch, where it feels like someone's touching you and grabbing you. I attempted to start sleeping using Mylar, in anticipation that somehow, that it would shield and block it, but that was not effective because they even start grabbing me through the Mylar, and that's not even safe, anyway,
Alice.
to just be using for that. But I was so desperate at that time, that, I was trying to use anything, and to this date, there's nothing that I know that absolutely works, nothing. I have no idea. Something else, a lot of my friendships were destroyed. People would make up rumors about me. There was a nasty, horrible smear campaign against me. People were saying, not only were they lying, saying that I was a dirty cop, but they also were telling lies, saying that, I was, I'm going to be careful because I'm on the call. We'll say a loose woman, in terms of, just, that I was like a bad person, I just made up, a bunch of horrible, and these were lies. The things that were being told about me at that time was not even applicable. I was single. I was just minding my own business. During that time. But
Okay,
my
Alice.
targeting has.
I just wanted to comment. You've been targeted since 2012, and this is the first time that you have contacted the community. Is that correct?
This is the very first time that I've contacted you.
Okay.
This was my my very first time. I've listened to calls, in the past, where I would just listen in, but this is actually my very first time actually, being able to, even disclosing this. It's just, I felt it. I had to, because I'm out of desperation. I had to come forward because.
Right. Could you give Laura a chance to comment? And before that, I would just like to say, if there is anyone out there with any questions, just dial 617-987-8603. Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Oh, honey, my heart goes out to you. I've been through all that you've experienced. The phantom touch, all of that is so. It's so awful. I'm so very sorry. The dreams as well. I know how they affect your dreams. I know how scary it is. Um, I feel like I've gotten my mind back. Maybe just this last year. I don't know why that is necessarily, but the way I got through this, oh, I don't even know where to start. But you have friends now, and
That's right.
you do know some of yeah, you do so know some of us now, and it's been a lot easier for me to deal with. Find people in my area to hang out with once in a while and be able to talk to. I do know somebody in your area, so I will give you that number off the air. But
That's great. And when we go off air, stay on. Don't hang up right away. And we'll chat for a few minutes and you can exchange information and we'll go from there. But,
yes, I would love it.
okay, once again, anybody with a question, +1 for those of you out of the country, 617-987-8603. And, okay, Alice, try and go into some detail and give us a chance to respond because we can possibly offer suggestions that may help you. Go ahead, Alice.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
It's probably a lot. It is a lot, honey. I know.
Yeah, it is.
It's been extremely difficult, especially lately. Within less than a year ago, I was actually poisoned. Someone entered my apartment, put an attachment on the faucet, and I nearly died. When I went to the hospital staff said, well, we'll call her family and let them know that she's dead. So people were already making plans for me to be dead. So that happened. I'm grateful that I survived that. Actually, I was poisoned more than once. After I survived the initial poisoning, I fled. I fled to, and this is less than a year ago. This actually happened last year. I fled to a hotel. When I got to the hotel to flee because I knew my apartment was not safe for me to be in, they literally, whoever was trying to hurt me, followed me to the hotel and they poisoned me again at the hotel. It was so painful that it caused me to lose bladder control. Um, Whatever it was that they had poisoned me with, and so I had to, stay gone, for a while because, my environment wasn't safe. And this month alone, I've had two instances where people have tried to bust through my door literally while I've been at home. The first time they had bust through the door, and then obviously, law enforcement, I called law enforcement. They came out, and then yesterday morning, they tried to bust through the door, but they didn't because I had a door jam, one of those devices. And I would recommend that targeted individuals, if you can, try to, block your doors, because something that I realized is that they actually like entering our apartments, which we all know, but especially when we're asleep, when we're most vulnerable. So after that happened, I went to a hotel yesterday to flee, and when I woke up with several markings on my arm. There's some, I don't know, striations. There's several markings on my arm. My arm is bruised badly, and it even hurts right now. It hurts to the touch, literally. They went through my items, through my belongings. My phone was moved. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they put in my body, I have no idea. I'm very afraid, and that was the reason why I reached out to Frank, because I've always been a fan of Frank, and I applaud everything that he's doing. I think he's a wonderful person, but I had to come forward and say something because, it had just gotten so bad, recently, within the two break-ins this month.
I would like
And so
to.
you're feeling,
I would like to. Oh, go ahead, Laura. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you're feeling okay, or your just arm is really sore. What I do is take that this activated charcoal a lot, and I feel like, and that keeps a lot of poison out of your body. I don't know if you take that or know about that. It's just a little suggestion. It's not going to change everything, but I have been poisoned before too, and I take activated charcoal with me everywhere, just in case of that.
I would like to also interject that voice to skull and the whole procedure is not what you think it is. They can put any sound they want anywhere. They can put it outside a window, hanging 50 feet up in the air if they want to. They can place that sound or any sound anywhere. Another thing they can do, immediately, they will clone the voices of your doctors and your nurses so that when their back is turned, they will use that voice and make you think that it's your doctors who are saying these things. I just thought I would let you know. Back to you, Laura.
Well, that's unusual. I had an experience recently that was with my teeth, and for years I won't use pain medication. I won't use pain pills, but I've had these teeth implants that I've been dealing with, and they don't take. And the doctor told me recently, I finally found a good one, and he said, don't use that oil, not the CBD oil. You won't heal. Well, I was putting that on my gums daily, putting it on my gums, and I would not listen to the doctors telling me what this take this Percodan. But I was like, no, the CBD oil will prevent your gums from healing. Now, this is something that I think was probably synthetic in me that had me believing, no, I can heal with the CBD oil. But I never heard them say the oil will prevent you from, prevent your gums from healing. It's just, it is a sadistic program, and so you really have to watch, even if it's all natural, what you're doing with your body sometimes. Decisions that could mess you up, even if they're natural. So yes, I think that was synthetic. I don't have the telepathy I don't have the voice to skull. However, I think that was some kind of synthetic telepathy. So I didn't heal. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right on. There's
Never know.
Another thing that they do that some people might get a grip on, other people may not. If you have synthetic telepathy and V2K, they send the same audio message to both. They send it to the subliminal, and they send it to you directly as real-time audio. What this does, it immediately makes you think that you are saying it. This came right from my perp's mouth, so I had to relay that. So, who would like to speak? Alice, would you like to continue?
Oh, sure. Something that I noticed before they start using the mind reading technology on me, I noticed that whenever I would be asleep in bed at night, I noticed that I felt a strange sensation on the back of my head, a couple of inches above my neck. it felt like an electrical sensation. And then that electrical sensation progressed to where it felt like someone was taking a knife literally and carving into my scalp. So I started feeling that long before the synthetic telepathy, before I became conscious of the fact that the synthetic telepathy technology was being used. And also, I get sensations on the top of my head as well. It feels like a burning. Sometimes I get hit
Oh
so
yeah.
hard with these frequencies. It feels like someone's cooking my head. I was in 0 degree weather, and all of a sudden it felt like there was a heater like on my head, literally. And I looked up to the sky to figure out what was going on, and you could see the waves in the sky,
Oh,
coming
honey.
down.
Yeah. Yep. I know exactly that burning of the head. I have been dealt with for years. I've been dealing with that. Do you get like white goo at all? That like it almost feels like it's battery acid that comes out of the top of my head, but it just burns and burns, and I don't know what that is. I'm not sure. Like, are your roots crunchy? Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Are your roots crunchy? Like the the hair, on your head, is the roots like crunchy, and your head gets just really
I
hot,
have
like burning? Yeah.
I have bald spots from where I get hit with the frequencies.
Oh,
Where
darling.
I
Okay.
Yeah, where I get hit the most. I noticed that in that area that I kept getting zapped in every night. I looked in the mirror, and there's a bald spot there. And in other areas as well, where they like to concentrate on my head, the hair will no longer grow in that area. So I have to wear wigs. I can't even wear my natural hair out, because after they started zapping me, the hair just won't
Yeah.
grow back in those areas.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm familiar with the burning of the head, and sometimes it actually feels like there's nails boring into my head, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure out what's causing it. Where's it coming from? There's nothing touching me. So yeah, it's so frustrating. Right now, I'm actually have an ice pack with a hat, one of those EMF hats on, and while it doesn't help all that much, it helps me be able to just do this radio show. So. Um, certain things, certain days are better than others, but I'm
That's
familiar with that.
that's for sure.
Uh,
Laura and I have both been going through teeth ordeals. A
mm,
tooth,
our own personal, yeah,
yeah,
our own
it's
personal
terrible.
health, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My two front teeth were perfect. Never had any trouble with them. They didn't darken, they didn't turn black or anything like that. They just fell out. One of them fell out, then the next one next to it fell out, and on the other side. And I couldn't believe it.
Oh
I
God.
was flipping because there was nothing wrong with the teeth except
Hmm.
for the fact that the perps were burning them. And when I say
Yeah,
burning, I mean it feels like the worst cavity that you have ever had in your life. And
exactly. They burn the root, I believe, is what happens because you don't get a cavity there, and then the tooth just falls out, and it's like so. And the and they'll tell you that you had maybe a root canal, but you had no, no warning of that. And so, yes, I get that, Frank. That is so freaking unfair.
right, and it happened. I went to the dentist for a cleaning and whatnot, and the perps didn't like it. So after I got out of the dentist office, that's when it all started to happen. The teeth
Oh my,
went
how
downhill in a matter of months, till the point where
just
I still
oh,
am in a lot of pain. And it's one of the things, one of the parts of targeting that you have to accept, unfortunately, until we find the countermeasure that works. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Oh, a countermeasure that works. The only thing that I see hopeful for teeth is the stem cell research they've been doing where you can grow your own. And I say that they should sponsor every TI in the world with that technology and let us all be, I don't know, I would volunteer for something like that just because it seems interesting. It seems a long way off, however, but it could happen.
I think so.
And yeah, as far as how her targeting is just so awful right now. Um, you know, what I did when I lived in a motel room is I put a bell on the door, and I know that sounds kind of dumb, but I do sleep late, and so, I heard that bell any time. I mean, the barricading of the door is good, but when they knock you out, it seems like they can knock you out sometimes. You're not aware of it, so
Right,
it's hard to
and
stay safe.
she has mentioned that she has a physical rape going on. She wakes up and she finds herself, uh,
I see.
yeah, and I don't know what to do about that because that's physical. It's actual. It's not electronic. This is
Yes,
actually
you need.
someone being there. So I wouldn't know how to handle that except for to call the police. Do you want to comment, Al?
Well, I would like to call her a friend in her area, and then we can go from there. Yeah, and see what they can do in her area. That's ridiculous. That needs to not happen ever again.
No. This is something where conference calls, radio shows, programs, they bind people together and we share symptoms. We share what works, things that we use that help. I haven't found anything yet that eliminates it, but I've found some things that help. And most of them don't cost anything.
That's right. Most of them don't cost anything. Most help is free. That's true.
Now we
I've
do,
found that too.
right, exactly. If usually things that work the best are things that you've done all your life and either forgotten about or you just run into them again.
Yep, like grounding,
Exactly.
earth, earthing. Yeah. She was speaking of copper earlier. I'm going to get a copper pole for outside my window so I can just, ground myself easily in the morning times.
And there is a grounding system on Amazon. I believe it's $27 or $29. It has gone up in price through the COVID years here, but it's well worth it. You don't have to do anything. I've seen some jury rigs that are very dangerous, and if you don't know anything about electricity, buy this unit because it's very simple. You plug it into the wall. It uses the existing grounding apparatus that your home uses. All you do is plug
Excellent.
it in, and it's got an alligator clip on the other end. You can hook that to a piece of tin foil. You can hook it to your waistband. Wrap the tin foil around your waistband and put the alligator clip on it. You're grounded. It's not going to cure anything, but it's going to make you in better shape, better condition to handle the targeting.
That's right. I've been places where, I could just stay all day because I'm grounded, or I'm sitting on a tree that was cut down and it's 100 feet, into the ground. That's called forest bathing. That's amazing. And the places where you go. I mean, Chris spoke of a place once where he went and he wasn't getting hit at all. You could have stayed all day. He said he could have stayed forever. But yeah, if you can get a couple hours of that in a day, that's wonderful. If not, you have to do the grounding. I have to do the baths. I have to do the Epsom salt. Otherwise, um, that's how I. My go-to though is for the headaches and for the really bad burning of my skin. I finally came across the vinegar, the white vinegar. It sounds ridiculous, but wow, I had a migraine once for like 3 days, and somebody had told me about it years ago, and I said I'm not doing that. That'll stink. But
Uh,
I took this white vinegar, poured
Laura,
it on my head. The minute it touched my skin, it was gone. The pain was gone. So I don't know why that works, but
Laura, I have a redundant system to shut down. I'll be right back in about a minute, okay? Thanks.
okay.
I
Anyway,
like,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry. I said I like going out into the sun, going outside. Like you mentioned, being out in nature.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah.
when the frequencies get really, really too bad for me to handle, when I'm being tortured from this technology, sometimes I'll go stand outside, just because it gets so bad. And I have noticed that sometimes I feel better on a sunny day and on a nice, clear day when I go outside to try to
Yeah.
get away from this.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anything that works. I know of nothing that works for this. I've been
I,
suffering, since 2012, from the technology. In less than a year, the targeting, has been, near fatal, you know, for me.
oh honey. Yeah, bless your heart. That's too long. It's too long for any of us, actually. But I did find some relief with grounding. I did find when my head's burning, I do the vinegar on the head if you're not around anybody. But as far as somebody breaking in, we've got to get you a friend down there in your area so you can.
Yeah, it happened
That's how
twice.
that's how I've kept myself safe. Is I looked for years for a good roommate, um, and you know, you really gotta. People say, well, you don't want a roommate, and I know TIs live together. They sometimes have a hard time, so I recommend not to find a TI. Find somebody that's going to pay their rent and doesn't care what you're doing, pretty much. You know what I mean? And and but then they're a witness to anything that happens, and that's how I've been able to stay, off the street and survive, and just rent a little basement type situation or a room. It's cheaper too.
Hi,
But
Laura. I'm back.
that's how I've survived so far. So anyway,
I just wanted to.
hi.
Hi. I just wanted to let everybody know that if you have a question, dial +1 617 987 8603. And that's a direct line to the studio. And we'll hear you immediately. Believe me. What's up on your show this Sunday, Laura? Do you have any?
Oh my, I haven't decided yet. I never go with my topic. Last week was pain management, and we didn't discuss that very much, but we could go back to that. My favorite topic was the what would you do? How would you stop the targeting if you had all the money? If you had all the money, how would you stop this?
Okay, I'll tell you what I would do.
Maybe I'll do that. Please.
As soon as we get a grant, maybe we'll do it. But what I would do is I would hire some of the best people in the country just to work on that.
Just to expose or
Just
just to
no,
get
just
justice?
to be in R&D. Some of the best minds in the country, and would have to get
All
a
right.
really substantial grant to do it. But that's what I'm going to do. Those are my plans.
Love that idea.
And as for me, if I was provided unlimited resources, just say a miracle will happen and, I was blessed, what I would do is have my home strategically designed using the Faraday type materials. I'd also have my home consist of a safe room, and in that safe room, it would have a secret passage so that I can escape. I'd also have armed security 24/7. I'd have the best surveillance system. I would have security all around my home and in my home as well. And I would have a boyfriend that would be part of the security detail as well. So I would have top of the line security anywhere that I travel to, anywhere I go. I would always have at least, two strong guys with me to protect me, if I
Damn,
were
and you could
provided.
just pick, huh? You could just pick. You could hire 10 of them, and then you could just pick out of those.
Yeah, and have one
I
of them
kinda-
have one of them
I
as my
kinda like that.
boyfriend.
Oh my! Well, that's some good
My
thinking.
security. Make sure it's
All
people
right.
around me that I could trust. So I'd be safe 100% of the time. Obviously,
Well,
he'd
the
be off
problem
duty
with that,
when he's with me.
yeah, the problem with that is you can't hire trust. You can't hire somebody that you trust. Certainly can't hire somebody that you love. But I say think bigger, like bigger. We should all have that house, and we should all have that security. However, you wouldn't need that security if you had all the money. If you had all the money, the 13 families would be coming to you. If you think about it.
Now
But I love that idea.
the security boyfriend, obviously he would not work for my company, but I'm just, joking, saying that,
No, I love
my,
it.
basically,
I'm just
yeah,
joking with
basically
you.
saying my
I love
boyfriend
it.
would be someone that could handle himself, and I would
Yeah.
prefer my boyfriend to be someone that is either military, someone that's law enforcement, those are the
Nice.
type of boyfriends,
Yeah.
that I would want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
National Guard. National Guard, maybe. The
Someone,
National Guard, their flag stands for peace. I would
I feel
love
safe.
myself in the National Guard, man, myself. Huh. It's a good one. I
Yeah,
like it.
my best
I like it,
friend,
girl.
my best friend growing up was in the National Guard.
Yeah?
Yep,
He's still alive?
he's the only one that knew how to light a coal stove, because we all lived in a house that had a coal stove, or actually a coal
See,
heating
that's the
system.
kind of guy
Yeah,
I need.
yeah, there you go. Well, I taught him, so.
Oh, shit. All right. No, it's a good one. I like to daydream sometimes about that. You never know. Things
Yeah.
are changing.
I know coal is nasty for the environment, but it gives off such great heat. Oh, I wanted to drop this on you guys, and it's not about targeting, but it's something that's very interesting. And it's unsurpassed in planetary news. And magnetic north, or the North Pole, has moved 50 miles in 1 year. Can you imagine that? Magnetic north has moved 50 miles in 1 year. Now, the polar flip usually happens every 450,000 years. It is now 750,000 years, so we are overdue. And I think this polar anomaly is what's happening. So what actually happens, I am not going to comment on, but the pole has moved 50 miles towards Russia, and it has been moving for quite some time now. So that's something to think about. And
Like opposite worlds.
yeah,
Could be.
yeah.
I know.
Imagine,
Sounds juvenile, but yeah, it's something to think about.
sure is. And I was curious about Patty Greer. Could you bring up her oxygen
Sure.
supplement and
So she had come up with a supplement. She is a target here in Boulder, Colorado. And she has come up with, she's done a couple podcasts, and she's an amazing lady. She's come up with something called C60. And it's a supplement. I just ordered it. I haven't tried it yet, but I always try anything that a TI comes up with, of course, because they know what they're doing, and she seems like she knows what she's doing, and she's come up with this product. She swears by it. She just did a podcast about it and said it helped a lot of MS patients and a lot of patients dealing with Parkinson's. And so I'm going to try it. While I feel pretty healthy, I can feel better, and we're going to see if this works with the burning of my head and sometimes the headaches, and see if I can recommend it. Anyway, again, it's called C60, and it has a little, it comes in a purple form. It does sell on Amazon, but you can find it, I'm sure, on her website. Her name is Patty Greer. Anyway, she said it also helped with the head burning, was why I was interested in it, and she's been an advocate for years for.
That sounds very interesting. Does she have a website that we can go to? Okay, we have a caller here.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Good evening, caller. We got you now. What was that,
Okay,
Laura?
I was just rambling. I was just saying, it's either my brain fog or my comprehension level or what, but I just need you to talk about that you're going to be on the radio and so forth the night before on the conference call, or
always
maybe
do.
send out a text or
I
something,
send out a
because
mailing.
I never know.
I send out a mailing.
Yeah, something that, or if you could do it the show before, it's how you tell people that before your conference call, make sure you call the other number, because other people are excited and ready to get in, like me. And
Welcome, Steve.
I got another.
Good evening.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, good to hear you.
Hi. Welcome to the radio show. We're listening to a newbie story.
Yes.
Right now.
Alice is with us.
Yeah. Alice is with us, and
Okay.
she has had some of the same stuff we've been dealing with for years. And she's very scared. She's had some break-ins and stuff. Do you have any recommendations for her?
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, I'm not hearing that well. Is that what you asked me a
Okay.
question?
Sorry. Hi, welcome to the call. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, if you want me to say something, I got something to say.
Well, I wanted you to, I guess Laura Ann made a statement and she wanted you to comment on it, but that's gone now.
Oh,
Isn't it?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
Oh, that's okay. I can hear you great. Can you hear?
Okay.
Can you hear Stephen? Okay,
I
Laura.
Yep, I can
hear
hear.
you, Frank, and you're muffled.
Okay, I shouldn't be, but
I got brand new earplugs here.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
what's the
was telling
question?
me about. He was telling me about how the frequencies have helped him changing
Okay.
his frequency during the day.
we have a call from
Oh.
Australia. We have a call from Australia. Hold on.
Is it Joe?
Probably.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. She's a riot. I love her.
Hi, Joe.
This is Alan.
Join in the fun. How you doing, Joe?
So,
She won't be able to
I can
speak till
tell you-
this.
Okay.
She'll be able to speak in a second. I have a
all right.
software problem, an issue here that I might have to research. Okay, go ahead. You can speak now.
Okay, so
Hold
what
on.
I
Ladies first, Chief.
that's okay.
I'm just-
Shut up.
Okay, yeah, I know New Orleans has a lot to say. So first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool.
I just wanted to say hi, Frank. Thank you. Also, hi to Laura. Thank you. And I also wanted to acknowledge Alice, what she's gone through and going through. I'm really so sorry. And we believe you, and we've all been through it. And I'm sorry it seems like it's gotten worse for you. Like, that's not good. And yeah, I hope you get some physical protection around you soon in the form of, yeah, your doorstop, even, that you've already done. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going through a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going through a lot. And the fact that it seems like it's escalating, that's a bit of a concern. So, yeah, glad that you've reached out if you're still there, Alice.
Right.
Oh, I'm here. And what was your question
sorry,
again?
girl.
Okay.
I was going to make more of a comment.
Someone's using speakerphone. Someone is causing an echo by. Okay, just you can't use speakerphone.
Hang on. I'll just speak to him.
Okay, go ahead.
I apologize. It was kind of breaking up a little bit.
Am I?
No, you're fine.
Am I better now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was just going to say, like, if we had unlimited funds, so sorry, it's not a question, but I'm just very sorry for your loss. If we had unlimited funds, I think I was trying to think through, like, I knew in my head what it was, but I just wanted to put words to it. But I think pretty much everything that we're already doing, that Frank's already doing, like helping other TIs, being positive in doing so, like we are a very positive group. We try and support rather than bring each other down. And then on top of that, I would just probably the only thing I would add is public awareness. And, maybe I'm saying that to myself, but I don't know. I don't quite know how to start public awareness all on my own. But, yeah, if we had like a company and we were just moving forward, we would just make this sort of like the hippie movement, like make it really happy, positive, but say, look, this is happening. And get the message out.
This is what happens.
So that's all.
Whenever someone individually tries to report this to authorities, they end up in the state hospital. I'm sure that echoes through everyone's mind that's listening.
I suggest go with your lawyer. Go with your lawyer. If you're going to go to the FBI or you're going to go to anywhere, go with your lawyer. It's got to help.
I suggest not doing it alone, and I've been a big proponent of that. I have reported alone. That's never effective.
Right.
But if you can get a couple of people in your area together, it might be effective.
Agreed, 100%. If you go there alone, the only witness you have is yourself. And they don't believe us.
Well, I think that's why I haven't done anything. And even, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead. I didn't hear your story, so I'm not sure how to comment. So go ahead, though.
You didn't hear Alice's story?
No, I didn't. I came on late.
Okay, yeah.
Well, basically, I was saying that my targeting began in 2012, and when I reported the stalking and the harassment, I ended up losing my children because they said that it was my mental health state, and all I did was simply report it, the stalking. That was all I did. I have had jobs ruined, careers ruined. There's been times where people have tried to frame me for crimes. One time I got called in the office. There was $100 missing from my till, and someone was fortunately there was a witness that overheard one of my perps, some of my perps talking amongst each other, saying they're going to think she did it. So that's why they had stole the money, out of my till. Um, in 2012, I became cognizant of the remote neural monitoring, the remote neural manipulation. Sometimes they can make my limbs move by themselves. There's been times where I've been sound asleep, laying in bed with my arms suspended in the air because of the technology that's the remote neural manipulation. Um,
Wow.
Sometimes,
Go
in
ahead.
addition to that, sometimes they spew commands directly into my brain. Like I could hear them saying, take off your shirt, put, do this, put this on, or, it's just, it's absolutely disgusting. There's been times I've
It
been
just makes me think that
electromagnetically raped.
the device must be real close. Whatever it is, it must be real close to you. Because there's another lady, Linda,
No,
that
this
wild things
not
like that happen
necessarily,
too.
Steve, but let's let her finish.
yes.
I am.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, Steve. Do you have any more questions?
Well, just that I kind of get it. Ma'am, do you have any directed energy like burns on your body at all? Do you have
Yes,
little
yes,
dots
and
near your chest and heart? You do?
I have
You
woken
do?
up with burns. Yes, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. I have a suggestion, and I think that we all need to do it. I was going to reveal it tonight on Frank's show. Is I think that every one of us needs to get a regular camera, not one that's hooked up to Wi-Fi at all, Wi-Fi, and get a partner. And first off, get a real good shower, wash your hair real good, and then dry your hair. But then get your partner and get semi-naked and have them shave your entire body, except up to your neck. And then after that, you need to get that person to take the pictures of all the spots on you. And I think that we all need to do that. I know I need to do that because that's part of our evidence. And it's just something in the tool bag for us to be able to
I
show.
don't suggest that you shave your body, but taking pictures would be a real good idea.
I think you should shave it because it reveals the little dots so much easier, and I didn't think the ladies would have a problem. I thought the men might have a problem, but I've been doing it slowly, and God, I see them. I see a million little dots all in the chest area where they're constantly trying to hit me, and on the arms.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's.
sure my legs are.
Go ahead.
Just an idea.
I haven't
lost
told
you.
anyone about the burns or anything like that, and nor do I plan on telling anyone anything about it. It's because I'm at this point. I'm so afraid for my life that the only place that I even discuss my targeting is on this forum. This is like today is my first time, ever, discussing this, openly like this. Something that,
But honey,
I.
I'm sorry. What I did though is over years I have taken pictures of my burns and different. I lost my voice for a long time. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost my voice for a long time. They burnt me so bad. So I did record that, and then I put it on a little private website that nobody has, but that I can show people, and that I can show them over a period of time, what my body looks like before and what the burns are now, just in case I ever need it. You don't really need to, that's how I handle, my stuff.
That's a great idea.
Anyway, I've documented a lot of stuff, and I don't know that it's effective, but that's just my suggestion. I'm sorry, I know it's not very good.
Oh, it's a very good suggestion.
Allison, what city are you in?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know if it helps at all, but we recently rediscovered that there are, electronic harassment laws on the books from 2003, and I think I've sent it to Frank. If you want to give him an email, at least you could send that, and try to build your folder of evidence so we can try to get something done for you.
Hello?
But,
Hello. I don't know
You don't
if
hear
anybody
me?
can hear me, or I just can't hear him.
You can't hear
I can
him?
hear you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. First he was, I don't know.
Huh.
Sounds like he was saying something and then it just dropped off, I guess.
Yeah, I heard it
Honey,
too.
Okay.
about as far as the
Can you hear me
electric
now?
that's such a nightmare.
Can you hear me now? I was
Do you
just
have
saying.
access to a tub at night? I mean, that's
Uh,
what I do all the time.
I was just saying that
Or
there's
the
some
towel
laws
your
on the
head,
books
the
in
wet
Michigan
towel
already.
on your head.
Oh, y'all can't hear me.
I have not
That'd be
tried that.
effective.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know if
I
that'd be
put ice
effective.
packs on my head, but
Yeah,
that
I do
still
that too.
still didn't help. It's the
Yeah.
even the ice packs. Yeah, as of right now, I don't know of anything that would work.
Yeah.
And we don't, as a targeted individual, we don't have the luxury of being able to go to the doctor and say, I'm actually being hit with directed energy. Can I please, receive medication to be able to manage my pain? We don't have that opportunity. When I was poisoned a year ago, actually less than a year ago, when I was poisoned, when I went to the hospital, they said that I was having a psychotic episode.
I know.
And this is after I got poisoned.
I know, baby. So I'm so sorry. I know. I haven't found any help with the medical community as well. Well, that's not true. Okay, so I went to this guy, an Eastern medicine doctor, I think they call him, he was like a chiropractor too, but he was like, he mixed up like these Chinese herbs and these medicines. Anyway, mixed up these tinctures for me. I told him I was being hit with directed energy weapons. He believed me. He talked to me for like 20 minutes. He looked at my tongue. He was like, okay, he felt my pulse. I asked him, he told me, I told him what the symptoms were, and he said, okay, and what hurts? And I told him what hurts, what I have, a headache most of the time and stuff, and he hooked up these tinctures for me. I don't know if they're called tinctures, right? They're amazing, and he did help me. He was able to help me. And I do take these every day. They're just natural stuff, you know what I mean, from the earth, different plants, different stuff. He hooked up for me, but he did help me, and he was aware of directed energy weapons. However, he retired from his practice the next day, and I never saw him again. I'm still looking for, I'm able to get those that he prescribed me. I'm able to get those online. So he hooked me up, but it was obvious he might have never wanted to see me again after that. So what I would suggest is trying to find one of those doctors that is going to actually look at you, listen to you, look at your tongue, take your pulse. You know what I mean? I mean, they do charge like $80 a pop, I think, and then whatever for the medicine. But I think that's way worth it. Forget the insurance, forget all that Western crap. Well, that's just my outlook. And,
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting to be that time, and I would let this run as long as I could. But we have a conference call at 9 p.m., and we have to get ready for that. So I'm going to say thank you very much, Alice, Laura, Ann,
You're welcome.
and Stephen.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great having you, and I'm sure we'll all get together again. And Steve, maybe we can plan on having you on in the future. But right now, I'd like to say good night from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen.